We got to talk Jokic. Yesterday, we sort of joked the fact that his numbers are the best he's ever had, which is a little bit scary. Career highs, 30 points a game nearly. He's never had more than 27 in a season yet. It's increased scoring, and yet the record is what it is. So I don't know, Chandler, is this a good thing? Do they need to switch it up? Like, what has to change? And I know you're going to say something about Jamal Murray, but...
I mean, their record doesn't reflect that it's a good thing, but he has to, because when he goes out of the game, this team is drastically worse. So I do feel like there's that ownership, there's that responsibility for when he comes in. He's more aggressive this year offensively than he ever has been. And now he's great still getting everyone involved. He creates so much attention. He's getting double teams. He's still unbelievable on the offensive glass. He's still doing the Jokic type things. But yeah, when you look at this team, outside of Russ, maybe they don't have that scorer off the bench. And with Jamal Murray, when he seems to be looking a step slow and he's not been aggressive and he hasn't kind of got to his form, I don't know where else they get that offensive production. Right now, Michael Porter Jr. is their second leading scorer. Michael Porter is averaging more points than Jamal Murray. Nobody would have thought that would have been the case this year when Jamal Murray is 27 years old. Talk about all year, he's been snubbed for an all-star his whole career. I don't understand how that's the case. But Porter's more of a shooting playoff guys. Aaron Gordon's kind of that role player. Besides Murray and Jokic, they like Christian Brown's been good, Peyton Watson, Russ. They don't really have that Malik Monk, Jordan Clarkson type guy off the bench that can go in and get him 20. So this team's offense, they have to play through Jokic. He's got to be aggressive. I think for them to have any chance, he's got to average 30 plus, especially until Jamal Murray shows that he can be that guy again.
What's going on with Jamal Murray? Like, why does this happen? I know we're all waiting for the next step, the all-star step, all that stuff. Playoffs, we see him. It's almost like a different person sometimes. What is happening here?
I'll be honest. I think Jamal Murray is being the same player that he's always been. You know, he's had these big scoring outbursts in these big games. Other than that, he's pretty much settled into who he is. What I think the problem is, I think Denver kind of took for granted some of the role players that they did have. When you let a Jeff Green go, when you let a Bruce Brown go, you let a KCP go, those are glue guys that can get you to championships like they did. And now when you allow those guys to go and leave in free agency, that leaves that gap. Like Chandler just mentioned, besides Russell Westbrook, and Watson can play better off the bench, but who do they have that's going to give them that scoring punch that they need? Who's going to give them that leadership when some of these guys are playing? So when it comes to Jamal Murray, he doesn't have those role players to kind of cover up when he's not having these big nights. Even last night, I'll take a 19, 6 and 4 from him. In a game. Would I like that to be a 25 to a 28 somewhere? Absolutely. But that's where your role players come in. That's where these other guys come in. So he had those guys to kind of protect him in moments where he didn't shine, and now he doesn't have that.
And we've gotten so used to the Nuggets winning at such a high clip to where everyone was getting praised, everything was coming easy. Now they're not doing that. Now they're 11-9, which is new. So so you got the point. You have to point the finger at someone. And Mike Malone, we all know how great of a coach he is. You can't deny Jokic's production and his numbers, so who else are you going to look other than the second best player that hasn't looked like himself all season long? So, again, he's still, I'm not ready to write him off. He's 27 years old. This dude, this dude is a hooper. Again, he's underrated for the most part of his career. Part of that is because he hasn't been elite in the regular season. I prefer a guy that shows up in the playoffs, which he does every single year, so I'm okay with that. But
you want to dig a hole.
The West is so deep this year; they can't afford to keep losing these games and slide in the standings because you don't want to tough out the first round. They just can't afford to do that. And this is a season where if this doesn't work, and they are a first-round exit, or if God forbid they don't make the playoffs, this team is someone's going. So they're gonna make a change. So
and be clear, 20 points don't care who scored. They got 3 guys that's starting at 19, 17, and 15 point per game averages. That's a lot of production that you're getting. But again, when those guys go out of the game, who's stepping in to keep that lead going? So now you look at Jokic. It looks like he's doing a lot of heavy lifting. Like, no, they're just a top-heavy team right now. They let a lot of those intricate pieces go that helped them get over the hump when those guys went out of the game, and now it's showing.
I think that was always a head-scratcher, too. Like, they won the championship, they had the parade, and then guys left, and you're like, nothing happened.
After Mike Malone,
I know, but
Mike Malone says, Bruce Brown, you're not going anywhere, and he signed.
And he was going next
That was immediate, by the way.
But even when I watched Jamal Murray, it seems hard. Like, it seems like he's hitting these crazy step-back, spinny, long low-percent shots. Nothing's coming easy for him quite yet.
And what year is this for Jamal Murray?
I mean,
He's what, 27?
Because I want to say, if we're in year 7 or 8, this is the time where your game evolves and you put something in your bag. Like, you can't just rely on your athleticism. You can't rely. This is year what?
8.
Year 8. Yeah. At this point, the scout report is the scout report. Everybody knows your game. So what are you adding to it? What are you doing differently in year 8 that you were doing in year 5 that worked for you? Like, you have to change something. Year 8 from year 10 is around the time where Jamal just said it. I'm not going to dunk the basketball as much. He's making an adjustment. He's trying to turn that corner to the next phase of his career. Maybe it's time for Jamal Murray to find a different way to be impactful on the floor.
And this is no knock to Michael Porter, but the best version of this team is not Michael Porter averaging more points than Jamal Murray. It can't be. Like, it just doesn't even make sense.
It's not a knock to him. It's not.
It's just. Well, I think we expect now more from Jamal Murray. He's a 25 and 10 type of guy. So when he's not doing that, we have our questions and our concerns. But this is, they have something here. It's just, I do feel like that window is closing to where, like, if they first round, you know what I mean?
Maybe
like,
there'll be a good trade deadline.
It's going to get dicey.
But they know that as well.
And they don't have that Buddy Hield, Jordan Clarkson, Malik Monk. They don't have that type of guy off the bench to give them that extra energy in those buckets. So I would love to see them kind of try and acquire someone like that.
Well, we got time. We got time for that. Don't look now, guys. Pelicans had themselves an evening.